wear me down. And when I looked at you, you looked at the ground. I don't know who he is, but I think that you do. That comment, who is he and what is he to you? I have something in my heart and in your eyes. Tell me he's not someone just passing by. And when you cleared your throat, was that your cue? That comment, who is he and what is he to you? Now when I had a song of you and me,
Hey, come on.
I get confused and I keep coming up with three. You're too much for one man, but not enough for two. That comment, who is he and what is he to you? Girl, you tell me men don't have much intuition. No. Is that what you really think of? Or are you wishing before you wreck your old home? She's certain of the dude that comment, who is he and what is he to you? That comment, who is he and what is he to you? That comment, who is he and what is he to you? That comment,
Who is he and what is he to you? Y'all know nothing about that man right there. Y'all know nothing about him. His name is a what? It's Bill Withers, okay? That's what I'm talking about. I told y'all, don't nobody ever contact me until I get on live. And who? My baby girl. I know. Okay, I always, do you got this so I can catch an Uber? Do you got this so it's always do you got? Do you got? Do you got? Do you got? Yes, I got. Anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and give y'all the official opening. Hey, everybody, this is your girl Creole, Creole Butterfly, Libra Butterfly, Coco 929, coming to you real quick from the state of Kentucky, where the women are beautiful and the horses are fast, or the horses are beautiful, the women are fast. It just depends on what you like, okay? And I want to say happy birthday, happy quinceañera, happy bar mitzvah, happy anniversary to Lottie Dottie and every darn body under the sound of my voice. Okay. I'm the Oprah of the what? The smooches. So you get a smooch, everybody gets a smooch. My sister from another Mr. Charlie, she had a doctor's appointment today. So we'll probably do a follow-up on this. But I wanted to get this out here in the atmosphere quick, okay? I wanted to get this out here in the atmosphere real quick. There's a lot of people that's suffering from anxiety and depression. And let me tell you my story. So, real quick. Yeah, because y'all, I can't wait to eat. First of all, hold on. Let me get into what I need to get into, okay? Honey, I just, when you good, you just good, okay? When you that chick, you just that chick. All right. So check this out. Today I was gonna cook garlic honey glazed pork chops, but I changed my mind because I got in the kitchen and started creating. So I did some peas and I did some macaroni from scratch. I just took it out of the oven. Got all crisp on the top, yes, and it's all gooey, ooey. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. And so with the pork chops, I did my garlic that I was gonna do with some more seasoning, runs, and oh, the way I did them, y'all, they gonna be fire. Do you hear me? And I covered them up for the first 40 minutes, and I just took the cover off of them so they can get that in them for the next. And I turned my heat down to 220, so that way they won't burn, they won't get hard, but the rest of it temperature will slowly start reducing, and they'll. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Now I think I'm gonna make some hot water cornbread. I think I am. I'm not sure yet. I haven't made up my mind. But check this out, and I also made some fresh brewed tea. I ain't had fresh brewed tea in a minute. Okay, it's so good because I use Lipton. I use 4 bags of black Lipton, and then I use 2 bags of another kind and one of another. The one I used was hibiscus. If you know, you know, baby. When I tasted that tea gonna make you slap somebody. This whole meal gonna make you slap somebody. Okay, I just want y'all to know. Okay, anyway, enough of that. Let's go. All right, so um okay, so I have to tell y'all how I got on Lexapro when I was on Lexapro, what it did to me, and give y'all herb. What's up, Kendra Boo? Long time. Yes, baby, I am. How's your day? Good to see you. Um, okay, so I had a vision, okay, about my uncle. And in the vision, my uncle was coming up my walkway and he was waving at me. And I kept on, but he didn't look himself. He on a white shirt, black tie, black pants, but his hair was gray, white gray, beautiful. And if you knew my uncle, he was bald headed. Okay. So when I came from that vision, I'm like, something's wrong. Something's wrong with him. I said, he's saying bye. I don't like it. Let me warn him. I tried to find him for 2 whole days. Couldn't find him. It was never like that. I always could find my uncle. I could put my finger on him when nobody else could. Okay. And so Mother's Day, okay, Mother's Day, I kept feeling real funny, kept feeling real funny. I had to cook a big old thing over my house and everything. And my late husband kept saying, baby, are you going to work? Because I was supposed to work that day. And I said I was going to call in. And I said, nah, I'm going to go on and go. He said, okay. He said, well, let me know when you're ready so I can take you. And I kept sitting. He kept saying, baby, are you going? Because you ain't get that much longer. I said, I don't know. Something don't feel right. So I said, I got Uncle Butter. That's what I called my uncle. So I got Uncle Butter on my mind. I said, and as soon as I said that, at the time we had our phone where the caller ID would come up on the TV. Okay. So he said, speaking of, and he said, look, I said, oh, there he is. So I took a deep breath. So I said, yeah, let me get dressed. So my husband answered the phone and he said, hey, Uncle Butter. She was just, and he called himself. He said, huh? No. What? Huh? And I kept saying, what? Like it. He said, oh my God. Okay. All right. Thank you. And I said, what? He said, baby, sit down. I said, I don't want to sit down. Tell me that. I don't want to sit down. What? He said, they just found Uncle Butter dead, baby. And I screamed. And I said, no, I don't believe it. I had lost it, y'all. I had lost it. Okay. I said, I don't believe it. Now, at that time, as soon as my phone rang, my mom had just left. This is her brother. My mom had just left. Okay. That's how all of this happened. And I kept on saying, I don't believe it. I'm going to go over here. So my late husband had to catch me going out the door. And He said, I drive, because he knew I had lost it, right? So I gets over there because he was a pastor. I gets over there, and as everybody standing outside, the people that live around the church and everything, everybody, it was so odd. Everybody standing outside. As we pull up, you could read people's mouths saying, "There go Coco. There's his niece." You could read it, like, I mean, for real. And so, and then it started getting audible. And so then some of the people in the church started looking out the door because they start hearing, "Here come Coco." Okay. So I goes in the church and everybody's like, Coco, they trying to touch me. I'm like, stop touching me. My husband was like, he told me later, he was telling them that I'm not myself, just leave her alone. And so I runs up the steps and I runs through the sanctuary and I pushes open the door because I know he's sitting back there in that office. And I push open that door and it's another pastor that was covering my uncle and the deacon sitting back there. And they was like, oh, baby. And I was like, and so I took off back out the sanctuary. I was like, let's go. I'm going to his house. Y'all, when we turned on the street, when I said it was more black people out there to make a Tarzan movie, I would not be lying. It was so many people out there, so many people. Family members, everything. And I remember when I hopped out of the car, it's like an audible, like all at once. Everybody's like, ah, baby, like all at once. And as I'm walking, I could see his baby brother sitting up there out front, right in front of the door you enter in, and he's looking at me. And with him being there, I knew it was real. And I started saying, no, no. I kept on shaking my head. No, 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 no. And then I just screamed, y'all, like if somebody was killing me. I just screamed. And my uncle grabbed me before I collapsed. And I remember hearing myself saying, no, who's gonna love me now? Who's gonna love me now? That's all I kept on screaming. I just kept on, kept on, kept on, kept on, kept on. And then finally I just got so quiet. They was like, is she okay? Is she okay? And my husband was like, hey, let's give her some air, and all this and stuff. I just couldn't talk no more. I couldn't talk. I couldn't cry. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't move. I lost, feeling in my legs. And then when I did get feeling in my legs, I went downstairs. Uh, I went downstairs to walk to his apartment room. And when I went downstairs, there was people in the hallway. My other uncles was down there, and they was like, because see, I was like his daughter. He didn't have a daughter, but I was his daughter. That was my uncle, but I was like his daughter. Anything he ate, anything he did, anywhere he went, whatever he did, I knew about it. Me, okay. So that's how close we was. He was like my daddy, but he was my uncle and everything. And I love that man. Okay, so now that y'all know the story, okay. I was going about my what's up, Muffy Boo? I was going about my business and all this and stuff and different things. I don't know. Anyway, I had to go to the doctor. So me and my late husband, we was in the doctor's examining room and stuff, and she was looking at me, and she said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm good." And my husband looked at her and she looked at my husband. She said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." And she was like, "Tell me how a day goes with you." And I said, "Well," and so I started explaining my days. And she said, "So you just been in the bed?" I said, "Well, when I get home, I go to bed for a while. Then I get up and I cook dinner and I make sure the kids is okay. And then I just get in the bed until they need me." I said, "Well, I'm good." That's all I kept on saying. Everything she asked me, "I'm good." Matter of fact, anytime somebody asked me something, I was, "I'm good." And that's how I would say it. "I'm good." She said, "You're depressed." She said, "What has happened?" She said, "Because you're depressed. You are clinically depressed." She said, "I'm looking at you." She said, she just got to explaining everything. And my late husband said, "Well, we found her uncle that's like her daddy. Thank you, boo. We found her uncle that's like her daddy. He was murdered. And, she's kind of saw it 2 days prior and tried to find him and couldn't find him for it to happen, you know. And she was like, whoa. She said, I'm going to put you on some medication that's going to help you because at this point, I don't want to have to hospitalize you. She said, and if we can catch this early, she said, I think this will help you. Okay. I'm like, okay, I don't think nothing's wrong. But y'all doing that depression stage. Well, okay, let me go ahead and finish this first. So she prescribed me Lexapro. Okay. And she's like, take this amount of Lexapro, was on the bottle, and all this and stuff. Y'all, as I started taking, why is that? What is it with Cash App that don't come up now on your phone? I don't get that. I'm trying to send my daughter something. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find her name real quick, y'all. I'm sorry, because it won't let me. Let me tell her to text it because for some reason it just keeps spinning. Hold on, she was. Okay. So anyway, um, what happened? So it was making me crave sweets. But the sweet that I crave, y'all, was Reese cups. I would sit in the bed and literally eat nothing but Reese cups. Reese cups, Reese cups, Reese cups, Reese cups, Reese cups, that, and I got more depressed. It didn't bring me out of my depression. I became more depressed. Like I went from being depressed, clinically depressed, to crying, just laying in the bed crying. It didn't work on me. Um, what else happened? I became lethargic. Like I became it just it whatever it was supposed to do, it did the opposite. Okay. And oh, and it made you not want to eat. Okay. Yeah, honey. All I ate was Reese cups. I promise you. My husband had to force me to eat something different. And I would take like 2 bites and I'd be like, okay, where my Reese's at? It was just weird. What else? I still having nightmares. It just really it did a number on me. Whatever it was supposed to do, and I know it's supposed to be build your serotonin up and everything, but to me, it had an adverse effect. Okay, um, and so I was on there for about 2 months because she was like, "Well, it's got to get in your system and all of this stuff." Y'all do not go against what you when you know your body. And I'm a person that's very in tune with my body. Hold on. Okay. So when you very in tune with your body and you know for a fact that whatever medication they get you on is not working and it's making the situation worse than better, you be your advocate. Okay. You be your advocate because I had to wean myself off of that because it is addictive as well. Okay. And I stopped taking it. I went a whole month without going back seeing that doctor. I went a whole month. I took myself off of it. I'm like, this ain't me. This is not me. And I'm not knocking medicine. Don't get me wrong. Don't take it as that because I'm not a medical doctor. Okay. I'm a therapist. I'm different. I'm retired. But I understand why some people need their medicine. However, not all medicines take. It's like a bad perm. It just don't take sometime. And that medicine didn't take for me. It made me worse. So I had to wing myself off of it. I had to force myself to do things to bring me out of this depression, because I did agree that I was depressed. Okay, I really did. That was like losing my father, and with me seeing this happening 2 days prior, it just did something to me. And then the way he went out of here, and okay, Minnie. Okay, she done changed her name again. No wonder it ain't. Oh, you know what? Hold on, y'all. I'm sending this child a cash out. She better be lucky I got it so she can catch his Uber. Oh shoot, I put it in the wrong spot. Ooh, kids. And y'all think I want a man with kids? Heck no. They gotta be grown and gone. Mm-mm. Oh, now that makes you put a note in the cash out. How about no? I don't feel like putting none in there. Okay, anyway, it's gone over. Okay, it says Lexapro is a brand name medication. Okay, uh, I'm gonna try to pronounce his name. Escitalopram is its active ingredient and is widely available as a generic drug. Generic medications typically cost less than their brand name counterparts. Duh. Okay. Um, it's called the happy pill. Lexapro is, okay. It's called the happy pill because by increasing the levels of a mood enhancing chemical called serotonin in your brain. So that's why it's called the happy pill. Okay. I had headaches, which is a side effect, nausea, which is a side effect, insomnia, which is a side effect. I had weird cravings, weird dreams, all the things, okay? All the things. Am I telling you all not to take it? No, I am not telling you all not to take it. What I am saying to you guys is to monitor your body. Know your body, okay? And if something ain't working, go to something else. Like for real, go to something else. Now, naturally, okay, some of y'all don't want to try natural because you feel like it takes too long and you want something that's gonna hit you like right now. Anything that's worth doing takes a minute. Okay. Anything that's worth doing takes a minute. One of the things that can bring up, hey JB Boo, I didn't see you. Hey Yatanya Boo. One of the things that can bring up your serotonin is probiotics, okay, like kimchi, sauerkraut, uh, those bitter things like that. Tryptophan. Tryptophan is a herb, okay? That is like that, okay? Tryptophan. And the way that you spell that is Tryptophan. All right. That's something that can help. Exercise raises your endorphins, which helps to raise your serotonin. Okay. Sunlight, vitamin D3. Okay. If you get 15 minutes in the sun, or sunbathe, go outside and rub the sun all over you for 15 minutes, especially how hot it's been. Get on out there. Some of y'all ain't saw sun all summer. Get on out there and get in the sun. That's the natural vitamin D. Okay. That too can help you. Also, your gut, this is what a lot of people don't know. Your gut is where a whole lot of things start, okay, in your gut. If you're having gut issues, most likely you're going to have emotional issues, brain issues, because your brain controls your emotions, okay? So, a lot of times it's your gut. You're having a gut issue. Check your gut. That's why I started with probiotics first. Okay. Mostly everybody needs to be taking some form of a probiotic. You just should, especially women. You just should. Okay. And that helps. All right. So, I wanted to give you all my story on, like I said, Lexapro. It just didn't let me be a pro. I'm sorry. It was a cheap joke, but okay. Lexapro just didn't let me be great, child. For real. It was turning me into somebody I didn't know. I was paranoid. It just, all the things that you're not supposed to be enduring, you know, we did, I did. Okay. Massages also help to bring your serotonin up, and it takes your cortisol down. Okay, again, here we go with the stomach cortisol. Okay. you know so a massage is good. So how you go and get a pedicure, which I'm going this week. Praise God. Hallelujah. Okay. Hallelujah. Can't wait. Okay, anyway, you know how you go. And what I said about that is, when you go to get a pedicure, you know how if you go to a good pedicure place, they got them good chairs that massage your body, like that thing be all up in your spine and all. Oh my God, it feels so good. Anywho, whew. And also fasting. Don't you know a 72-hour fast will not only bring your serotonin up, but it'll knock it off the chart? And I'm going to say this. If you're a believer in God, you should have a life of fasting. I don't know people who say they believe in God and they never fast. How is that even possible? How do you cleanse yourself and open yourself to God so He can give you instructions, or so you can feel closer to Him? I don't get that. That never. It amazes me. That amazes me. You know, we believe God for everything else but fasting. If we tell you, I'm talking we as in preacher now, if we tell you, okay, y'all, we're gonna do a fast and you can't eat from 6 to 6, y'all would cuss us unconscious. What the uck you mean we can't? You don't tell me what to do. I'ma eat this cheeseburger, nigga. I'ma eat this chicken. What? What you talked about? Let me tell you, when I actually had my Ephesus, aka church building, when I actually had my church building, because I told y'all I was robed in, prayed over, and all that as a pastor in 2010. Okay, in 2010, April 2010. So when I had my building, my church fasted every week. Tuesday was our fast day every week, the whole church. Of course, I did an extra day because why? I'm the leader. And I have to do a little bit more than everybody else, okay? Because I'm feeding people. So I have to watch what I do. And if it's a fast to be done, I got to do mine a little bit different. But yeah, my church every Tuesday we fast. Everybody knew it, and they knew from what time to what time. Now I did sometimes leave it up to everybody to do their own fast because not everybody has the same affliction. That's what bothers me sometimes with these churches. Like, let's just say my mom. My mom don't really eat as it is, honey. She eats once a day, so abstaining from food ain't no big deal for her. But if you tell her, I'm gonna need you to cut them cigarettes off for a while, oh Lord, like, see, that hurts her. You see what I'm saying? It's what afflicts you. It's something that you feel like you can't give up. That you're saying, okay, God, I want you more than I want this. Help me go through this. Okay? Help me give this up for you. That's what that is. Okay? You know. So when I heard preachers only say that you fast food, well, what if a person ain't got a problem with food? I mean, do y'all get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, y'all. So probiotic, massage, fasting, tryptophan. Okay, I think that's how you say it. Tryptophan. Uh, what else? Sun, vitamin D, and exercise. Those are some three good things to bring up your serotonin. I don't know about y'all, but I never wanted anything to control me. And for some people that love to take medicine, I ain't one of them. Even herbs I have a problem with, but I rather take herbs because I know they from the earth to help you, and they have less side effects, if any, than this modern medication. Okay, uh, yeah, but I ain't one. I know a lot of people they be happy to take them drugs, boy. Oh yeah, not me, not me. I don't like to be cut on, which is something that in the last 2 years, baby, I done had all type of surgery. Okay, but I don't like to be cut on. I don't. I want to keep all my body parts. If and I always when people email me, and if you need to email me, the best way to get to me is Cocos, which is COCOS next level at yahoo.com. That is my email address. Okay. If you're 10, you know it. If you want to get to me and ask me to do a live or ask me some questions, that's the best way to do it. Okay. Now, I do not check that every day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm in the process of doing a whole lot of different things. I do check it twice a week. Okay. I was trying to check it every day and it just wasn't good and I wasn't keeping my word, and I hate that because I'm a person who keeps my word. Okay. So I have changed it to twice a week. So if you send me something, if you see me in the chat, or if you come in here and say, hey, I email you, and I'll go, when I get out of there and I check it and I respond. Okay. But give me, like I said, I check it twice a week now. Thank you, JB. So yeah. Um, what else did I want to talk to? Oh, okay. Y'all know I'm a butterfly, right? Okay. Hey. All right. So Saturday, in the middle of my deceased daughter's celebration, a black butterfly came out of nowhere, y'all. But it looked like it had diamonds on it. Like on the wings, it was trimmed out in like diamonds. It was weird. It came out of nowhere and it was headed straight to my face. So I ducked, okay? Okay. I ducked. So it went smack me in my face. So it hit me on my neck and flew off. Okay. And when a butterfly flies on you, it's the presence of a loved one who has gone away. Okay. And I just thought that was the icing on the cake. I said, my daughter is so happy that, God released a butterfly as a signal for me to show me that, yeah. I mean, what other way? And then my mom said, you love butterflies. Why are you ducking? And I said, no, I didn't want it to smack me in my face. That's why it touched me on my neck like it. And she said, I saw that. It was just so, y'all, it was so, I mean, it came out of nowhere. I promise you. It just came out of nowhere. And it was flying straight to my face. I think it wanted to get my attention. And like I said, it was beautiful. I had never seen a butterfly like that. It was all black, trimmed in like rhinestones. And I know it wasn't rhinestone. Well, I don't know that. Because strange things have been happening. But it looked like rhinestones. It could have just been the way that the design on the butterfly was. All it was to get my attention and to let me know, yes, this was well needed. I'm well happy. I'm pleased. All the things, y'all. And I cried. I'm a big wuss, okay? I'm a person who never cried, okay? I never cried, okay? I just want y'all to know that, all right? I was hard. I was a hard butt. If I cried, I waited till I got by myself. And when I was raising my first set of kids, when I was a single mother, I would put them to bed and everything. I would hold my tear. You would never thought I had a tear duct. They get in the bed, I make sure they real sleep. I go in my room, I sit down on my couch, get me a cooler, a cup of Pepsi, baby, and I let them tears flow. Sure would. Let them tears flow. And then I dry it up. And then I'm like, okay, we go 6 more months and then we'll cry again. Yeah, I did. Of course, I didn't have it right there. That's what I was going to say. I had it as I was driving home. Yeah, I held it. I held it. I walked away because I knew my mom, she was watching me. I walked away and started talking to everybody again and all that and stuff and stuff. Yeah. You ain't gonna get them tears out of me now. No. But when I got in the car, I did. I did cry when I got in the car. Yeah. I let it flow. I couldn't help. I couldn't hold it. Like when I pulled off, tears just start rolling. And I'm like, ooh, I made it. I made it. I got in the car, because I blew a kiss to my grandson, which is my deceased daughter's son. I was so glad he made it, and everything. And I wanted to make sure he had a ride home. And my oldest child said she had him. She said, I got him, Mama. Go ahead. I said, okay, you sure? She said, yeah. And I said, I love you. He blew a kiss back at me and said, I love you too, Nana. I said, thank you, baby. And man, she would have really been proud of this kid. I'm proud of him, but she would have really been proud of this kid. She would have. And his mom was his best friend. His mother was his best friend, and I know it has been hard for him. And I know he doesn't show emotion, and that's why I try to, because my kids got that from me. They don't really show emotions, and I hate that. I do. I hate that. And sometimes you got to watch how you are. And so that's something I'm trying to tear up. So, there's times I do let a tear or so fall, just to show my softer side. But yeah, my kids don't, they'll hold it in until they just can't. And it's like a dam breaks and it just, you know. But one thing I can say, whenever it does, they call their mama. They're like, Mama. When they get that, I'm ready to fight. They're like, no, no. I'm like, okay. So yeah. Oh, she got it good. Okay. Hey, Sandy Lewis. Thank you, love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Girl, you just gave me back the money. I just sent to my daughter because I sure didn't have it. She's cutting into my coffee money, girl. But I thank you, love. I appreciate you so, so much. Let me see. My mom lost me for 4 days in August of 2000, but God wasn't ready for me yet. What you said? What you said? Come on. And see, the reason why, let me go ahead and tell this again. Let me make my haters mad for real. Because they hate when I talk about God. Okay. So let me just let y'all know that there's people that hate me because I talk about God. They don't feel like my channel need all that. And I feel like my channel ain't nothing without it. Get that? Catch that? Good. Okay. So uh December 2020. Uh 2022. I'm sorry, December 2022. I tried to go back to work. I told y'all my husband took me off my job. Okay, my late husband took me off my job. So I wasn't practicing and all that and stuff. So after he passed away and my money was stolen, you might as well say it was stolen because the bank shut it down and wouldn't give me a Louis. Okay. Somebody called that bank and told them that my husband passed away and they made me prove I was his wife. Check this out. Not only was I grieving, I had to stand tall for my kids. I ain't got no money. I had no, y'all, you think I'm playing. I had no money. They shut that down. They shut it down. Even after my attorney sent them whatever he sends them as an attorney to say, y'all got to release her money, blah, 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 they still didn't release my money. His job was trying to say he didn't have no coverage with them, which that's a lie because I filled out the papers. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to pull the plug in September. So September, that day that the plug was pulled, they closed it down. I don't know who did that, but I told God to get them. God bless them. That day, October, November, December, January, January, January or February. That's how long it took for me to get the first thing. The bank still hadn't released my money. It just so happened somebody from the bank called me almost 1 year to the date that my husband passed away and said, "Hey, have you ever received your check from us?" I said, "No." And everybody I call is stuck on stupid. And this is how I said it. Everybody I call is stuck on stupid. They don't know nothing. They transfer me, and I sit on hold for an hour, and then they hang up. And when I call back, I got to start all over again. I said, so I prayed about it and left it alone. And she said, "Well, you're talking to the right person now." She said, "I'm going to sit on this phone till you send me what I need." And because I had sent it y'all 7 times, it was in my email. It was already on my computer. I just emailed it right over to her. I emailed who I was, marriage certificate, his birth certificate, his social security, his ID, and all of my stuff. She said, "Well, I didn't need all that." I said, "No, I want you to have it all because I don't want you to have to call me back and ask me for nothing. This is what I've been going through." So when she got it, she typed whatever in, honey, and everything, and she sent me a copy of it. She sent me a copy of the FedEx thing that she had got up because they had to FedEx me my check. Baby, it was a mess. It was when I tell so every wife, make sure that your name is on there. See, we had 3 different bank accounts. This one particular account, I didn't care about if my name was on it because I had an ATM card and I can go in it at any time. And plus, half of my paycheck was being deposited in there. That was like our travel account, or if we want to go shopping or whatever, that's the account that was. Okay. So when they shut that one down and my husband was the only one working, hello, hello, so yeah, that they did me in, baby. So by you being a wife, make sure that, hey Kim B, by you being a wife, make sure that your name is on everything, and it's some written stuff to say if you passed away, that money or whatever is supposed to go to you. Okay, because these banks will fight you to keep that money, and they wanted to keep our money. Remember, it was his money and my money in there, so it wasn't just his. And they saw that I was getting deposits in there too because it was coming from my job. And then, of course, like I told a woman, the last ones you see, you ain't gonna see nothing because I was retired. Hello, dummy. But you can go back and see those other ones. So yeah, y'all, I went through Hades, baby. I went through Hades. My God, he was testing me. But let me tell you what happened. Faith is a mighty creature. Because during that time, during that time, somebody heard about my struggle. Somebody heard about God is so good to me. I'm gonna continue to talk about here. Somebody heard about my struggle and said, "Hey, my cousin, God rest her soul, called me and said, 'Hey, cuz.' I said, 'Yeah.' She said, 'Somebody asked me about you and they want to help you.' I said, 'Help me do what?' Look, help me do what?" She said, 'Don't be like it. Call this number.' Baby, when that lady said, 'I want to help you, and whatever your mortgage is, I'll pay it for 6 months.'" Come on! Hallelujah. Let me tell you how God works. See, y'all can keep on. I'm God's favorite daughter. I keep telling y'all that people don't believe me. I really am God's favorite daughter. I am. The favor of God on my life is just ridiculous. Okay, and I cried. I sat up in my bed, was like, "Huh?" I cried. Then the lady asked me, "Do you have any food?" I said, "Yeah, I got food." She said, "You sure?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Okay." She said, "Well, don't worry about it." Then somebody told my son, "Hey, I heard your daddy just passed away. Is your mom all right? You all right?" He said, "Well, as well as she can be." "All right, well, look, check this out. Here," gave my son a cord. Inside the cord was money. Anyway, I appreciate my mom for all she has done for me in my life, especially having to learn how to do everything again. I know it's right facts. I had to do that myself, and luckily I didn't have any problems. I know you know, Kim B. I know you know. Yeah, but baby, honey, those of you all who don't know God like that, you will keep dealing with this administration. You will. It's better to know Him and not need Him than to need Him and not know Him, and that's the truth. Plus, I'm a giver. I truly am a giver. Me and my late husband used to say we would be the richest broke people you would know. Let me go get my pork chops out, y'all. I'll be right back. Let me see if I can play y'all something real quick while I go. Hold on. Come on. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, 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 come on. You know I hate commercials. Have I ever told y'all that I hate commercials? Just in case I haven't, I hate commercials.
Maybe it's time for me to give you all the love you need.
Rest in peace, LeBert. Okay. Anyway, I'm back. I turned them up just a little bit more, so when I go on there in the next 10, commercials do not buy. Girl, I do not like commercials. I swear I don't. I do not like commercials. Let me tell y'all something. Let me say this to you. If you have came up with anything, try with all your might to get it. What is it when you create something, but you have to get it not copyright. That's one thing, but it's another thing that you supposed. It just went out of my head, to be honest. That's because I got a lot of things going on. In 1994, 1994, me and two of my friends, we were in college, and we were sitting. I think it's 1994. Bear with me. It's in the early 90s. Okay, we were sitting in the class, and we were going to all move to Atlanta. Okay, because we all had entrepreneur uh, goals that we wanted to trademark. Thank you. Patent. There you go, patent. We had entrepreneur goals that we wanted to achieve, and so we was gonna go and move to Atlanta, and we were gonna get a 3 bedroom. Okay, of course, you know, bedroom, whatever child you had, we had to sleep in the bedroom too, so on and so on. Okay. Until we actually got up on our feet. But we were going to do it as a unit. That way we can babysit each other's kids, won't have to worry about no daycare. We was just a sister unit, and we was, 3 Black women that was going to try to just do great. So I was sitting there one day, and I said, you know what? I said, we need to come out with our own type of condoms like that. And my friend said, man, like polka dot condoms checkered condoms. You know, girl, we would be stylish. I said, for real, for real, for real, for real. Like it. I said, them condoms would be all that. And my other friend said, yeah, you know, we have to have them in Magnum because the brothers, you know, like yeah. So we start laughing, but as we were sitting there, it started catching on. Okay. And my friend said, I'm gonna write this down. I said, y'all think we could really do this? I said, but wait a minute, let's take it a step further. And my friend Ebony said, what? And I said, how about we create a condom that a detective, somebody has an STD, like it changes colors, it'll glow or something. But how about we do, man, it'll sell. We'll be billionaires like that. All of us screamed. We were sitting right there. All of us screamed. So they wrote it down. We all signed this and we all came up with the concept, the idea, and everything. Okay. Y'all heard me say that was the early part of 1990 something, right? How come I was telling my mother this and I was like, Mama, this is one of those ideas that I copywritten, but I have not trademarked. I have not got a patent or nothing on it because I can't afford it. To patent it is $10,000. I said, and they don't want no payment plan. They want that money up front when you try to patent. Okay. Soon as I said that, y'all, how come 8 hours later, kid you not, 8 hours later on Facebook, it was a caption that said, let's celebrate this young lady. She's created condoms who can detect if you have STD. I called my mama. I said, Mama. She said, what's wrong? You don't sound as happy as you was. I said, check this out. I sent it to her and I read it to her. She said, oh my God. She said, that was your idea. I said, yeah, I know. I know. So I said it to say, I can't prove that somehow the idea was stolen, that maybe they got the paperwork. I can't prove none of that. I wish that lady, a young girl, all the blessings in the world. So I'm telling y'all now, if you have an idea, do whatever you can to get that idea patent, even if somebody has to take a loan out for you. I didn't think that way because I don't trust people like that. Okay, I don't want nobody throwing up in my face. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have, see, I don't play like that because if I bless you, I bless you. You see what I'm saying? So that kind of did something to me. It did. It actually made me cry because I knew for a fact that the earlier part of 1992, 3 or 4, okay, that sitting in our classroom waiting for our professor to come in, that me and my two friends came up with this idea. So, it hurt. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It hurt me. It hurt me to my core. It hurt me. That woman, that young girl, she gonna be a billionaire because them companies gonna buy that out. I got two more things that I've copyrighted that are good ideas. And that right there has made me contact my lawyer to ask him if there's a way I could seek a patent for one of them before, and if he can get me in the room with this company. So I should find out by Monday of next week because that's extensive research and I'm paying for it. Okay. So, yeah. And here's the thing, my cousin took two of my book ideas and printed them. No, baby, I don't put it past so called family. I don't. I don't. I do not. I do not. You know, when I came up with my business concept, because I got an LLC, but I changed the name because when I came up with this business concept, And I was excited about it. I was telling so-called friends and so-called family this business. I'm here. I'm going to help you. In my granddaddy's voice, I'm going to help you. If you just let me, I'm going to help you, okay? AKA help you. And all of a sudden, this business concept started catching on with other people that they knew. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I told people I thought I could trust the business I was getting ready to start. I had got approved for my LLC and I got my EIN from the IRS. I'm excited. This is my passion and blah blah blah. Had diarrhea of the mouth because I thought I could trust these people. Not all skin folks are kin folks. You feel me? And all of a sudden, these businesses start popping up. So I changed my whole thing. I changed my whole vision. I changed my whole company. I changed my LLC name. Changed it. So that way you don't know what I do. It's just a name. But up under the name, there's several, it's an umbrella. Up under the name, there's several raindrops that go up under that name. Now, these people that call themselves gonna beat me to the punch and do the things, they're not even in business now. See, you can't mess with God's elect. You can't. That's why I don't fight back. That's why I look like a punk. I went from fighting everybody to not fighting at all. I'll pray and go on. Won't even look at you no more. I'll be like, oh, okay. They said this, blah, blah, blah. They did. Okay. I don't care. They said, oh, okay. Well, God bless them, baby. And move on. Because you know why? He fights for me. And when I say none of them is in business, none of them. Yeah, but even with that, JB, I told you I love hard and I love people. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. I'm not saying you are absolutely right. And I learned that the hard way. I learned that the hard way. Even with the CD, this EP rather, not CD, EP. I'm only doing the EP, a 2-song EP, and I'm gonna try to release that with my next book. If you buy my book, you get the EP. If you just want the EP, $5. Okay. If you don't want the book, if you say screw the book, cool. Whatever. But for buying my book, that's just something I want to love on you with is this EP. Now, I got to give my best friend, hi, best friend, hi, Anthony. I got to give him his props because he's been trying to push me to get this EP done for about 6 years. For about 6 years. Okay. So, he got somewhat against me because I have not done it. And he's like, I understand if you don't want to go to, because he said he ain't doing the record thing because the record industry, yeah, he told me all about it. I said, I don't either. I am going to do, he wants me to do the EP, and I am. He's like, yeah, when? Okay, so I can hear him now. He probably sitting laughing at me because he listens to me. He probably say, yeah, when? Okay, it's been about 6 years. I'm giving you your props, bruh. Dang. Anywho, moving on. Let's see. Yeah, honey. Facts you never supposed to. Right, y'all. Right. I know it's right. I'm ready to finish this fourth book because I feel like now I'm ready. My fourth book was supposed to be my second book. It's called Me versus Me. Okay. And I think God allowed me to make this book after those other ones because I still had some shifting and some grounding and some growing to do and some healing. I still have some healing to do and everything. You'll always heal from something or you'll always grow. Okay. You grow from glory to glory. Okay. But some things that make you or made you be one way or the other, and for the good or the bad, there is a lesson behind that. Once you get the lesson, then you're ready. Okay. And, you know, coming from a person who, trigger warning. So if you don't want to hear this part, I'm telling you, come from a person who was molested, raped, had a child at a rape, had a child with her molester, because I eventually fell in love with him. I don't never deny that. I had Stockholm syndrome. I've talked about that several times. A whole bunch of that, I had to overcome. I had to heal from, and everything like that. And that's why I said I became a therapist, because it seemed like us Black people, our level of things that we go through is like 10 times different than other people's. And I never seen a therapist who could reach that level, you know? And I wanted to be that one therapist that could get down with the person and be like, hey, I can match you there. You've been raped, so has I. I've been raped this many times by this many people at this time in my life. You've been molested, so have I. I've been here. You've been abused, so have I. I've been here. I just don't want a trauma bond. That I don't, because I don't, I'm a conqueror. I stand on what I've been through. I don't wallow in it. I stand on top of it because I've conquered it. And that's what I want to do. I want to pull people out. I don't want you to stay where you are. You almost died. I almost died too. See what I'm saying? But guess where I'm at now? So let me help pull you up out of the muck and murray, okay, the clay, and let's go. Let's take this thing. Let's take it. So, that's just me. Let me see what you're saying. That's why I kept telling people, if I give you an idea, I did it on purpose. Right. I know what you're talking about on that. Yeah. I'll get what I'm passionate about. I don't worry about what is going on in the West. God has our back and He makes all the decisions. I need a therapist that is relatable, very easier to talk to. Yep. Okay, baby. You're telling you I will, baby. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. Absolutely. But and let me answer this question, because maybe the person is new and they didn't understand. Butterfly, I feel like, is me. You go, girl. Congratulations, Catherine. Yes. To the person, butterfly, I feel like it's who I am. A butterfly, before it became beautiful and could soar, it had to go through tremendous things, unthinkable things. you know, some of the worst transitioning that went on inside of the cocoon. Okay, it went from going through horrible things where people knocked it down on the ground, it crawled on the ground, it went through dirt and mud and debris, and it went through everything until it got to a point it was ready to mature, and it sealed itself in to deal with all the things it had to go through. And once it healed itself and went through all the ugly things it had to go through, it breaks out of the thing that it sealed itself in. Could nothing get in it? It couldn't get out till it was ready to. And then when it was ready, it burst out beautiful. And it could soar above everything that it once had to wallow in. So I feel like that's me. That's why I love a butterfly so much, because out of all things, that right there is my story. All things. It's bad, and some of y'all can relate. It's bad when, that's why I say all skin folk ain't kinfolk, because even some of the people that you share blood with are jealous of who you're going to become because they can see it. So they try to crush you at your core. They try to step on you as a kid. They try to put you down as a kid. They try to speak negative to you as a kid. And it's funny because I was the kid who had a child at 15. Okay, everybody know about that. I ain't ashamed of it. My baby is making me proud, baby. If you only knew how great she is in Kentucky. But my honey who came, that was born from a 15-year-old that's sitting in boardrooms with millionaires making decisions for the housings and things that goes on in all of Kentucky. So one child just left to go to college. Okay. So, don't tell me what I can't do. Don't tell me what you can't do when you put God first, because that's all I had. Don't tell me what you can't do, honey. Huh. Yeah, my husband came along afterwards, and he was an asset, not a hindrance. But baby, before he came along, it was me. And I had to depend on the man upstairs. 15 years old, a mama? Come on now. Come on now. Trying to go to school, trying to finish high school, and then thinking about college, had the nerve to talk about I'm gonna be a doctor. Baby, you have family members, girl, you ain't gonna be no doctor. Girl, you ain't even gonna finish high school. Girl, you ain't gonna never be nothing. Girl, you gonna keep saying welcome to McDonald's. Girl, you gonna, oh yeah. Baby, y'all wanna hear my story, which I wrote about some of it. Y'all wanna hear about story. Baby, I had people that put money down that I would never be nothing. Cause I had a baby at 15. Oh, but what? Oh, but what? Did they have to eat what they said? Now they asking me, the one that you said would never be nothing. Hmm. Had a successful marriage, had successful kids. Not only did I go to high school, I finished high school, and one of the classes I taught myself what to do because none of the teachers had ever dealt with chemistry. And that was in my curriculum. And I had to teach myself chemistry and end up passing it with a B plus. Get out of here. Get out of here. Me. Ain't nothing about me dumb. I keep telling people that, but they keep wanting to deal with me as if I am. Ain't nothing about me dumb. So when people put you down, baby, you find your own self worth. That's why I keep telling y'all it's called self esteem, to esteem oneself. Okay? Stop looking to other people to build you up. Build yourself up. Put God first, in the middle, and behind. Build yourself up. Okay? I hear you, Muffy. I hear you. Yeah, honey. So yeah. That's why when people tell and now y'all can kind of understand when I tell y'all about these numbers when people say, Cheryl never had nobody over there about 10 people. Sometimes ain't nobody over there but one. One or none is still me. Okay, say that again, Coco. I don't think they heard you. Okay. After we drink our water and mind our business over here, one or none, it's still me. Okay? Cause baby, I'm the stuff. I'm the best kept secret. It ain't even got out yet. And I want to tell Lady Nika, thank you, Lady Nika. I think I came in her chat right on time. See, God knows. I was like, oh, Lady Nika's on. And I clicked in. And she had just said Creole butterfly. And I was like, what I do? So Lady Nika said, oh, honey, I really believe her channel going to grow once people get the word about her. Thank you, Lady Nika. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Because that's how I say I'm the best kept secret. I don't worry about no numbers. I'm a preacher. Hello. We preach when it's one. We preach when it's none. We preach when it's 1,000. We preach when it's 500. Honey, we just preach. So the gift of gab, me coming on here talking, of course I got that. Duh. I'm a preacher. When I want to, I fire this thing up and I come on here and talk, and eventually somebody will drop down or whatever. Okay. But what I ain't gonna do is lie to y'all and try to create no storyline so I can get some numbers over here because God gives the increase. Oops, what she say? She talked about God again. I sure did. God gives the increase. Thank you, Muffy. I love you being over here too, Boo Bear. Kim B, you know we know, girl. Come on. So yeah, that's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all. That's all. I'm not no threat to nobody. I ain't trying to be nothing. I told y'all, if I gotta have a sector, this is the love sector. Come on through. We gonna love over here. This is the love sector. Okay, that's what we do. This the love sector. Okay, so if you don't want no love, keep it moving. Some of y'all need some love. I'm just saying. Y'all need real love, not sexual love, real love, like for real, to be your best self, okay? I always want to leave people feeling better than when they came, or at least knowing a little bit more than when they came, okay? Sometimes I just affirm of what you know, and that's fine too, okay? Because I don't know everything. I learned from y'all, you know? So yeah, but what I do know, oh, thank you, Kim B. What I do know, I stand on. Okay. What I do know, I stand on. So anyway, y'all, I do love you guys. And like I always tell y'all, you know what? I hate this computer. I just want to reiterate whatever medication that you're on, y'all, if you don't feel like it's working, have your doctors relook at it or recalibrate it. Okay. Um, because don't keep taking something if it don't work. It's crazy. That's insanity. You still doing something and it's not working. Don't do that. Okay. Especially when it plays with your health. Your mind, health is wealth. Okay. I want to know, can y'all do this for me the next time I come on? If y'all can tell me what dragon fruit is sweet. Okay, because I got some dragon fruit from Kroger one day. It was already peeled or whatever's in the container. And I bit into it and almost gagged. It was so bitter. I'm like, how can people enjoy this fruit? So if y'all can tell me, because I starting the 29th, I am going on a fast of some sort. My first day, I'm gonna do an all fruit fast, and then however God lead me after that. Okay. So I'm trying to get my fruits all lined up, and I really wanna enjoy dragon fruit. I really want to get a good one. So somebody told me the red one is the worst one, and that could have been the one that I had. I don't know. I don't like dragon fruit. I passion fruit. Okay. Then it could have been just the dragon fruit was nasty. Okay. Um. So, but I am gonna do, even with the fruit fast, I can do what is called a what is it? Not a shake, but all the fruits blended up in a drink. Y'all get it? Shoot, y'all. I'm hungry, evidently. The yellow one, Creole, if I am not mistaken. I'm a try it, child. I also want to try the yellow watermelon. I heard the yellow watermelon is good. The white one is the one I had. Ugh, it was horrible. But I do want to try the yellow watermelon, y'all. I heard that is real sweet and I heard it's good. So I'm looking for that this weekend. I'm going to a fruit stand way out in another part of Kentucky. I heard they got the best fruit and stuff out there. I also heard that some people are prejudiced. So y'all pray for my covering. But I'm going out there to get me some fruit. How about that? Okay. Let me see. So anyway, y'all, I like the yellow watermelon too. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna come on here. I forget what I'm talking about tomorrow, but I am gonna talk about a couple of fruits that you can take that'll help your body, okay, and that restore cells and everything, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna be on that tomorrow, and something else. I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so it'll be after my doctor's appointment. Okay. Yeah, they have them here too, but I just gotta find where. And somebody told me, hey, the Ham Show, don't y'all forget to go and support him as well, y'all. D Ham Show, okay? And if y'all want some self intro music, I think he's charging $15, which is cheap, y'all. Get with him, get with him, get with him, okay? Don't forget Muffy, she has her own channel. Don't forget to support her. Uh, my other baby Charlie, me and Charlie go come on and do something too this week. Oh, y'all, my millionaire friend. Next week, I'm when you see it'll be on my thing. It'll be I'll set a live up for y'all out there. But I believe it's next week. My millionaire friend, please support. She is so sweet. She's a self-made millionaire. She's going to come on and talk to us about finances, especially with this administration, how we can get our stuff in the ground and have our stuff growing and all of this and stuff. Even if you don't agree with whatever she's telling you, at least listen. You may be able to take it to somebody else. Don't you know sometimes when you hear things like this, it's not necessary for you right now. It could be for you later, or it could could be for somebody that you're going to bump into. I preached one day, God can still use damaged goods, which is the name of one of my books. And I preached that, and I had an illustration. In the middle of me preaching, I pulled out two cans. One can was brand new, shiny, and beautiful. The other can was dented up and everything. And I was like, the only difference within these cans is the outward appearance, because inside the value is still good. And y'all catch it later. Anyway, I love you guys. And remember, no matter what the test, always, always, always do your best. Okay. I'll see y'all on these YouTube streets. Then I'm going to go fix my plate and eat. Love you. Smooches.